Hey guys, it's me, TC, back with another episode of TC Talks. Chilling out at the radio station right now in between some stuff I got going on. Just got out of work actually, so lucky you guys, you get to see me with my kind of work attire look going on. You know, got that nice clean shirt, that American flag shirt, repping that. This great United States of America. Not to get political, but anyway, we're going to be talking about Chicago baseball. We'll be getting to that later on, but Chicago basketball for now, because those Chicago Bulls are as hot as they are red right now. But before we dive into all that, I want to remind you guys, we are trying to hit 50 subscribers. That Winner Circle podcast I will bring up all the time. We're trying to live stream that right here on YouTube. It's kind of hard to get them edited and send them out here like we try to do. But honestly, that's something we're going to be looking to change later on in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. But make sure you subscribe so you could get all the TC Talks episodes I've been making, as well as all that new channel content that we're going to have coming your way. You're not going to want to miss it, I promise you. My buddy Marquise, the M in TMT, as our bigger production company brand is, you know, we're just a bunch of out of school guys doing something. But TMT, Marquise, he is fantastic. He is a whiz with all that editing and stuff. I mean, I obviously know how to do it, but am I as good as he is? No, he would be good enough to make it so these windows, they actually show up as like some image that you'd see out of a window instead of this overexposed sky and, you know, crappy wiring system over here, whatnot, and that other telephone tower right there. But I'm just saying, Marquise is good enough that he would make this look fantastic and studio quality. So honestly, guys, you're gonna want to stick around for that. That'll be coming to you soon. But let's dive into those Chicago Bulls now. I've been talking too much about all the other stuff. The Instagram, really quick. _Winner Circle _22. All of our additional links and media platforms will be there as well, like Anchor, Twitch, all that jazz. So go check that out. _Winner Circle _22. Sorry, I had something in my throat right there. But those Chicago Bulls, red hot right now, coming off probably the second biggest upset so far of this postseason. What was the first, you may be asking, TC? Well, that first one is those Pelicans showing up against those Suns. And I know, injuries happened, but at the same time, that even with those injuries, that was unexpected as can be. But those Chicago Bulls coming out and proving to the world that TC speaks the truth. I said on the Winner Circle podcast just this past Wednesday, right before the Bulls played, I might add, that the Bulls proved in game one they were good enough to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the defending world champions. And lo and behold, right after TC said it, it came to be true. Now, I'm not saying I have any, godly abilities or anything, but I will start taking your prayers immediately. But in all seriousness, though, the Bulls really did come out in force and really shot way better. And honestly, it comes back to what Chicago has been this past season. The DeMar DeRozan show and good, clean three-point shooting. So not a lot of attempts, but accuracy with those attempts. And honestly, 44% for the team, I believe it was. That is ridiculous. That is a good stat line from three-pointer. 12 of 25 for Chicago on the night. That is exactly what you want to see from the Bulls. Not taking them a bunch of threes, but taking the threes that they have available to them. And that happens when you're able to shoot inside of the arc really well, when you're able to get to the basket and drive, because that's what DeMar was doing all game, driving to that basket. Levine driving to that basket. Caruso driving to the basket. And when those shots started to go in, it meant that those guys around the perimeter, they were going to get that range that space that they need, because now the defense is crashing in to try to stop that drive to the basket because the Bulls were owning it in the beginning of the game. And that's kind of why later on you started to see DeMar going from, like, the free throw line, shooting those 2-point jump shots that he has, to 18 feet, just within inside the arc, actually shooting a lot more threes towards the end of the game as well. So DeMar was really able to take advantage of that spacing they were giving him. They were like, no, you're not going to beat us, driving downtown like you have been. And he was like, oh, you didn't hear. You didn't hear. I live at the 18-foot jump shot. That's where I'm best. Right there, I will drill it every time. And he just went to town, especially at the end of the game. It was just like, oh, DeMar has the ball. I wonder what he's going to do. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to say he's going to pull up here and take a jump shot from within the arc, of course, but only like 2 or 3 feet. He's going to shoot like an 18-foot jump shot right here. And you watch, and you're waiting, and there it goes. Oh, my gosh, DeMar DeRozan with the jump shot. Who could have saw it coming? Obviously, everybody. And that's one of the things that I like about Chicago, and why I kind of am starting to get over Vooch always being by that 3-point line. Because DeMar, honestly, all he needs is that screen by Vooch, that little separation, that half second, if that, of separation. He's able to get that, boom, jump shot, it's good. 9 out of 10 times, it's ridiculous. He owns that spot, and he owns it when he gets that high screen from Vooch. So that's something that I'd like to see Chicago do a lot more of. But speaking of Vucevic, really quick, one of the things that I really took notice of is every time Milwaukee had the ball, every time Milwaukee was going in, what they would do is they would have whoever, it was mostly Giannis coming in with the ball. That's where I really saw it. Giannis would come in with the ball. Caruso would be the guy up on him. But then he would switch it out. He would either, pass it out to Middleton, and Caruso would take. Then Middleton, who's now on the outer side of the perimeter, as Giannis, drives towards the basket, and they'd get that switch with Vooch, right? But that's exactly what they want. They want Vooch to be the defender they're going to pick on, and it's either Giannis going to the basket, or it's any sort of mix-up they were doing to get the better defender, which was mainly Caruso, that was on Giannis, especially when I was really paying attention to it, at least. And because Caruso's a great defender. He might be a little bit smaller than Giannis, but he's going to be able to contest him all the way to the basket. Vooch is the guy that they're going to be able to exploit, get that step on, and get a clean shot drive to the basket. Because, there was not to be hating on Vooch or anything. I really support and love the guy. But at the same time, there was this one time Giannis literally had to, take a step and a half to get around Vooch, and all Vooch had to do was rotate his body, right, just like that, to be able to get in front of Giannis to contest the shot. And there goes Giannis right over here where the camera's facing, and Vooch is still all the way over here where you guys are probably struggling to hear me, never even turning around until the basket is already made. And it's like, dude, how do you do that as an NBA caliber player? I understand you go out there, you put up 20 points a game minimum most of the time, but still, to sacrifice that much on defense just really hurt Chicago. Now, Vooch did show up this game. He definitely shot a lot better, definitely scored a lot more. So I'm not going to really hold it over his head as much, because this is one of those rare instances where I think Vooch scored more than he allowed to score. So shout out to him for that. But honestly, that's something I hope Chicago picks up on, is they are trying to get that switch so that when they're driving to the basket, because they're not trying to shoot that 3 ball. They definitely can, especially if they have Middleton doing that give and go with Giannis. But honestly, the thing is Vucevic can't be out there. Vooch needs to be the first guy taking care of the guy with the ball, because honestly, I know he's a big guy. He's supposed to hang around the basket. That's, typically how it goes as basketball in terms of defense. But honestly, if they're going to leave Middleton out there, why not leave Vooch? Vooch is, the perfect kind of guy to be out there guarding Middleton. And I know who's going to rebound. Well, honestly, Chicago likes to go small a bunch. So that's something that, DeMar, Patrick Williams, all those guys are used to doing to begin with. And especially if they got Middleton out there, Lopez, he's not small, but he's not huge. And I think that DeMar, Patrick Williams, all those guys will be able to out rebound him, given the circumstances. Like, obviously, that's not always the case. We saw Giannis, be able to knock a few free throw misses back out to their own guys, and one of them was able to go for 3 to Middleton, actually. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that's going to happen. But honestly, for Chicago, the way Vucevic is, I mean, you might as well have DeMar down there, because it seems like DeMar is going to be able to compete better. But that's just me. I mean, I won't get hung up on that. One of the last things that I really wanted to highlight is Patrick Williams, almost getting himself a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. That guy had himself a game. And like I was saying, he might not get a bunch of playing time, but if he's on the court, he needs to be producing, and that is exactly what he did. And that is exactly what I kind of predicted. I was saying, he proved that he's ready for that next level in that one game against the Timberwolves, I believe it was, where it was kind of a bench game, second string guys and all that. But he went out there and he dominated. 37 points, 43 minutes. He played most of the game, and he did a great job. He held down the fort. He led that team. And honestly, seeing him play that well in Game 2 really gives me hope for Game 3, because that's the confidence booster right there. How is he going to come out in Game 3 after he really showed up with not much playing time in Game 2? He's going to be so hungry for that ball. I guarantee you he is going to be a star. Not like DeMar or Levine or Caruso, but that guy, look out for him. I guarantee you. The last thing I want to mention is Ayo. Where the heck was he? Only 7 minutes of playing. I understand that, Levine played 43 minutes. Caruso had heavy minutes too. I think he had 38 minutes, something like that as well. And then you got Kobe White. I think he got 23. So there's not much time. I understand that. There's only so much you can do. But when Chicago likes to go small, like they have been doing, they need to incorporate Ayo with that. And I understand Ayo's he's not Zach LaVine, let's be honest. But at the same time, he is definitely ready. And I know that they got a lot of talent. Like I said, there's 3 guys above him that play on high caliber levels already. Kind of falls off with Kobe compared to Caruso and Levine. But still, those 2 are definitely ready to be exposed to what's going on. And I know they got a little bit of a taste, but Ayo, 9 minutes in Game 1, 7 minutes in Game 2. You'd like to see him just break double digits, just because of how often Chicago has Levine on the court. Give Levine that extra 2 minutes off, because honestly, I know it's Game 2 right now, but what happens when it's Game 5 in, the conference finals? You can't have DeMar, you can't have Levine go in a hard 43, 48 minutes like this. It's ridiculous, and it's going to wear them down. And Ayo, Kobe White, Patrick Williams, they are ready to take it to the next level. They are there to help DeMar and Zach LaVine get to that or get that rest to get to that win. And honestly, they're here to do it. They will definitely hold down the fort. Obviously, they're not going to be as great or as flashy as DeMar, Zach LaVine, and all that, but they do a good job, and they will get it done. So look out for those guys on the bench. Patrick Williams is definitely my guy to watch. I mean, out of everybody else, that's obviously good to watch. But I think Patrick Williams is going to come up good in this game tonight, I believe, actually. So look out for that. Really quickly, I know that was the last thing I was going to say, but this is the other last thing I'm going to say. DeMar, you deserve some of those free throw shots, buddy. You definitely took a few licks, didn't get called, and honestly, that's something I hope is corrected, because how do you have 20 fouls versus 17 fouls, and the free throw attempts are so obviously one-sided? So for me, that tells me that Chicago is kind of getting a little bit more of these, you could call on them when it comes to the Bucks getting fouled shooting, and the Bulls aren't. And honestly, I get that. Kind of comes with respect. Kind of comes with, you know, where were you last year? You know, these are the defending world champions. I get they should get a few calls in their favor, maybe compared to the Bulls, but at the same time, it shouldn't be that bad and obvious. Like, you know, even Tom Brady, I mean, he's probably not the best guy to be saying because of all the controversy around him, but, you know, even LeBron James doesn't get every call, you know. And really quickly, since I said LeBron James, just reminds me of those D Rose days back when D Rose was able to punch the ball out from LeBron's hands, and it hit him in the face. And then, you know, Chicago, of course, got called for a penalty, and you know, all of us out here were like, wow, D Rose just made probably one of the best defensive plays, something that could have changed the course of one of those games. And of course, the referees have to come out here or the officials, I should say, come out here and they have to ruin it. I almost said NFL referees, so that just kind of shows you guys how good the NFL refs are and how much they have a place in my heart. So that will actually do it right here for you guys. 16:30 is going to be the cutoff. I guarantee it. Thank you for staying tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Again, we're searching for those 50 subscribers, so please, subscribing helps a lot. Even if you're not going to want to hang around, just, you know, turn on some notifications. Not all. We'll take what we can get, honestly, as long as you hit that subscribe button.